All righty. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Julie Hawkins here with Tammy Langowski, and together we are two psychic moms. It is Tuesday, October 5th, and we have deep stuff today. That's all I'm going to say. Really deep stuff. Really stuff. And yeah, so we conduct readings, and we'll tell you a little bit. Tammy, you're so good at that, so I'm going to let you introduce that part of it.
Oh, okay. Well, we are two psychic moms, and Julie and I are both intuitive advisors to your questions. We both, do book sessions, and so if you're interested, you can contact us. So you can get a hold of me at tammysintuitive.com. I have a contact form there, and I channel messages on my social media, Tammy's Intuitive Services, on Facebook and Instagram. I also have a YouTube video, Tammy's Channel Chats. So that's a little bit about me. How about you, Julie?
I love it. Tammy's Channel Chats. Yeah, I feel like I'm in flux personally, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, Julie Hawkins, .com, bizpsychic.com, and private readings. And I channel with Tammy, and occasionally I used to be more regular about doing it on my YouTube channel. I have Biz Psychic YouTube channel, and I actually have something I need to get put up there. I need to send that to my my VA and have her work on that. So that'll be coming. That'll be coming soon. And those were deep questions too. I think political too, which they don't mind answering. I'm kind of sick of personally, but
I know our guys
have it.
they'll answer whatever we pretty much almost pose to them. God bless them.
So Tammy, we'll just use first names as we do, and people post to our page. So I mean, I don't think we're breaking any anonymity here, but Daphne had a question for us, and I think it was from last week, or she posted it on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to answer that here, Daphne, to the best of our abilities. And they're like, and I'm like,
I know.
So here's the weirdest thing though for me. I've never done this morning, and I completely forgot. I knew we had a question, but I had no concept of or remembrance of what it was. And so when I opened my records this morning, first of all, they were telling me we're gonna talk a little bit about spirit and soul and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay. And as I went to open my records, this is so new for me. I've never done this. I always open in my name, and I also open usually in like the United States or the planet, sometimes the universe. And today it was the all.
The all. Wow.
AOL. I'm like, the all. Well, okay. And I can only imagine that has to do because of Daphne's question.
Because of what?
Because of Daphne's question.
But there's a little freezing.
Oh,
we froze a little bit. So repeat that last part just in case. It was all because of what you thought?
I can only imagine that the all came in as a result to be prepared for Daphne's question.
Oh, yeah, it could be, right. Because it's, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Daphne.
I've never had that. So have we primed the expectation a little bit here? I don't know. Daphne's questions, they're multi-parts, just so you all know.
Yeah. Well, so I guess we'll just break it down, right, Julie? That sound good to you? Okay. Yeah. I'll read it, and then I'll let you start. I'll just read it, and we'll go from there. So let's see here. Sorry, I'm getting right to the questions. Okay. So Daphne was, she said some of the things prior, but she was saying it made her wonder if throughout history, humans have mistaken aliens for gods. Let's start with that piece of the question.
Well, we would certainly say that during the onset of not of humanity, but of a more intellectual Homo sapien, that superstition or that understanding um, kind of fell away. But in the early days where science wasn't the way it is now, or even 100 years ago, or even 500 years ago, because I think Da Vinci had a whole thing going on about, advanced, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, certainly other civilizations, other aliens could have been worshipped as gods, and because that's what the civilizations had. They had their gods, their deities that they worshipped, not understanding weather patterns, but actually they probably did understand weather patterns more than we give them credit for, because um, that information would have been uh, collected and sort of documented and passed down generationally uh, to each generation. So yes, I mean, the short answer to that is sure, yes, why not, right? Um, was there more to that part? Do you want to hop
Oh
in?
yeah, I can just, anything that I'm getting, I'm getting the same thing you are, Julie, basically same, just what you said. Yeah. And I'm just looking at the question again. Straight humans have mistaken aliens for gods. Yeah, I get the same thing. And it's like, yeah, all the time basically is what what they say there. And it's funny because I almost feel like many of the, we'll say aliens, were either not in agreement with that idea or really clueless to that idea of what that humans might have thought of them as gods.
Right.
I see this, I feel this separation first. I thought, what is that? What is this? And that's what it was. There was an indifference to that for the aliens. That, yes, but we would certainly say, just like you were saying and your guides were saying, Julie, that it's what they knew, what human beings kind of knew or did not know, what we do know now. So naturally, anything they saw or anything that was different, that they did not understand, they attributed it to something, so much greater than themselves. So yeah, that's kind of
It,
what we have on it.
it keeps showing me, and it's I want to say it's in Peru, the and I know they have a name and I can't remember it, so forgive me, but they keep showing me this picture of, they were like, it was like a grasshopper, and they were drawings that from an aerial perspective look like either a grasshopper or different things, and they're in Peru. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, I don't doubt it. I just don't know of it. Yeah, I'm not aware of it.
I think when I tell you about it, or I'll see if I can find it. Peru, I think it's in Peru. Anyway, that's what they're talking about in terms of aliens. So those truly were visitors from another, they said dimension. So we're going to use that. I'm going to repeat that. They were visitors, if you like to call them aliens, but we call them visitors from another dimension. And that was their way of not playing with us, but of connecting with us through these massive drawings that were etched into the earth that could only be seen from above to be recognized as to what they are. And I know people who know what this is will know what I'm talking about. And so maybe I'll look it up while you're talking, but certainly. And so sure, anybody would who had access to that, even up until more current times. I mean, there still is no explanation for that. So yeah, aliens, right? There is no earthly logical explanation for that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and to what you were saying, Julie, I feel like strongly that when they etched this, so to speak, I mean, it may seem obvious, but I was really feeling like it was sort of their not just leaving a mark on our world, but it was also to let us know that other things did exist. So it was with intention, but I feel like it was a positive intention. So anyway.
Okay, and I found it. I don't know how I found it. The Nazca lines, Nazca, Nazca,
Oh.
Nazca lines, are a group of very large geoglyphs made in the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. They were created between 500 BC and AD 500 by people making depressions or shallow incisions in the desert floor, removing pebbles and leaving differently colored dirt exposed. They're wonderful to look at, and they would have to have been, so they make it sound very simple. Oh, I just used my earth etch-a-sketch.
Yeah.
They're actually very detailed, and to have survived as long as they did have, they were deep. They're deep impressions.
Mhm.
This is not just, oh, I went out with a stick and drew some lines. No. So look up Nazca, and you'll understand what
Yeah, I'm going to look at that up myself. So it's NEZZCA?
Nazca.
See, okay.
All right. So while you're looking that up, there was more questions, but
Yeah.
Can you read that? Because
Yes.
it's like we want to get to the all.
Sure, definitely. Okay, so the next part of that, the question is, are God, Buddha, Guan Yin, Moses, and other ascended masters aliens?
Their immediate response to me was no. But that's kind of we'll say that's a simplistic answer. Read that list again.
So it was God, Buddha, Guan Yin, Moses, and other ascended masters. God, Buddha, Guan Yin, Moses.
Well, God, we're going to put God in a little bit of a different category. That's a big topic, actually.
It is. It is.
Yeah. So well, I'll hop in, and then you please hop in as you do too. So they're considered ascended masters because they achieved some level of enlightenment and imparted that and created following. And we like that. I mean, you can call us ascended masters if you want. We don't care what you call us. Our job is, when you ask questions, we want to give you answers that you'll understand. And so theirs was a slightly different occupation. And yeah, there's a lot to that. I mean, it's possible. So again, we're going to leave God out of this for a minute. We see that other list that you gave us as humans who really did achieve some level of not just enlightenment, but an ability to transform and transcend their own earthly bindings and rise above that to share that. And we don't see that. We don't see them as aliens. We don't think that that's, we will say no. We'll say no to that.
Yeah.
Yes, there are many humans who ascend and transcend. Doesn't make them alien, right? And again, alien's a whole other conversation. Now, God, and then we want to segue over to you in a minute. That's, again, just a human label. We call it the all. Oh, I knew it was going to show up at some point. Oh, no. They're marking my, oh, no.
Julie
earthly moments here. They're marking the street out here, and there's a truck out in front now. I hope it's okay. Anyway. Okay, so God is just another word for the all, for source, for universe, for what cannot be easily comprehended and transcends human characteristics. But it includes the energy that you think of as human. That is the all, right? And so when you as humans tap into God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call collective beings, it's a higher level of energy, intellect, vibration that may feel like it's alien or God because it's out of your norm as a human or your human experience.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Julie. Very good. Very good. I mean, I think again, we're in agreement with, everything that you and your guides are saying, from my perspective. And when we go to that question again, our God, Buddha, well, let's start with Buddha, because God we know is a source of love. So is it, I'll say not he or she or whatever that source
Right.
is it alien? It has, I hear aspects of the alien dimensions. So there might be some connection with source and the aliens. One's like Buddha. Was Buddha ever an alien, or was he an alien? No, he was not, is what I'm getting pretty directly. Guan Yin. I heard never, ever, ever. Okay. Moses. Okay, wow. Okay, I just heard that, yes, he was at one time, but he prefers not to be now.
Alrighty.
Okay, that's new news for me. Maybe for many of us. Again, Moses, as we knew Moses here, was he ever an alien? So what they're telling me is he is a soul spirit, was very interested. I love that. Very interested in going out there and being out there. And so that makes sense to me why they're saying, yes, he has. I think he's dabbled in that, we would say. So if, for whatever that's worth, this is kind of fun. And under other ascended masters, aliens, some have looked in on the lifestyle and the place of origin, I'm hearing, but not necessarily they themselves have been. So the only one I get a little bit of something is Moses, frankly, of having dabbled in it. I'll just say again, maybe had a lifetime, maybe was just out there, leaving his body and being able to really go into those dimensions and check out other planets and things like that. So he had something, he had abilities to do that. He still likes to do that, is what I just heard. So yeah, he's very interested in those things, is what I'm getting. Not so much the others. Buddha was very much very connected to the earth, is what I feel. I mean, obviously, an ascended master, but very connected to the earth and wanting to help the earth is what I'm hearing, as well as fellow mankind, obviously, with the messages Buddha gave, that's what I'm kind of getting for that. So anyway, so on that question, that's what I'm getting.
I think we need to address the word and the concept of alien. And so we think the context that you are bringing to that word is foreign to our world. Okay, so from some other world, we'll say, some other planet, some other dimension, somewhere other than your Earth planet. But alien is kind of a weird catch-all. And so we'd prefer not to use that term. It's again, it's something that was given to things to energies, to events that happen that people didn't understand. Oh, well, it's, and then of course there's, the whole religious aspect, because if it isn't good, then it's evil, right? So that's a whole other conversation as well. But so when you ask about alien, I think we would rather you think of these people as having the ability to tap in to just that higher all, that more encompassing vibration and energy of the all. Are there other beings that are not from our earth plane? Yes. You may call those aliens, but we don't refer to them in that way um, as you have asked the question, i.e., ascended masters like Buddha or even Moses or whatever. They just have that ability, had that ability to tap into certain things. Aliens, that's a whole other conversation that we kind of had last week, about being on Mars and
Yeah, I know. Seems to be a hot topic.
And other life forms. And so that's what we would want to differentiate for you, that we see aliens as other than human life forms.
Right. And I do think that's most likely what she was asking, like from our perspective, were they alien? And so basically, I think the agreement is no, for for the most part, if that helps to answer the question. Moses,
and we see what you're talking about, how because Moses could tap into other energies.
Right. Pretty interesting. Yeah. So, okay, the next part would be to the question then, what's the difference between God, angels, Buddha, ascended masters, and higher dimensional and vibrational aliens? So what is the difference? That's a big question. That's a huge question.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good one, but it's a big yeah, I mean, we could break that down a little. Do you want to start with that, Julie?
Yeah. So yes, and yes, I do, and no, I don't. I mean, okay, so here's what they're saying to me. We consider all of those other than God aspects of the all. Okay? They are energetic vibrational beings of the all. And when we say the all, we mean the all. I can't even, I don't know how I would even say something else. I mean, many of you think of that as God. I see that as a religious term. But the all is the all, right? And it encompasses everything. And so while there are beings that like angels and I can't remember what else she asked about, not just ascended masters, but
angels, a Buddha, ascended masters, and higher dimensional and vibrational aliens.
So many.
The difference, yeah.
So many that you don't. It's not. I'm not even sure it would help for us to talk about it, other than to say there are so many. It's like saying what's the difference between Tammy and Julie? We're all unique human beings, right? There are all unique beings out there categorized into different vibrational forms. Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And so all of those are born of the all or source or God.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. And Daphne, when you ask like what the difference is between God, angels, Buddha, I think what I'm getting for that too is that it's not so much, though I get the question, that's why you worded it as like, what's the difference? Our guides are kind of saying, well, maybe what their role might be in a sense is maybe more appropriate, or at least what I can talk to. God, yes, is the source of energy of love. This is, again, what I have always learned, speaking for myself here, of what I've gotten from my guides, the source of the glue, so to speak, the all, like Julie is kind of saying. Angels give you help, bring in inspiration, and are there to really help people on the planet. as well as animals and other things as well. Buddha was an example of, they give me the word Zen and quiet moments and what it's like to be able to feel one's own energy. So I feel he was an example, I think most of would agree probably with that, of kind of what, what the difference might be. Again, this is all like Julie was saying, it's all encompasses the energy of source. They're branches, as we all are, right? We're all branches of source. But just to help you with the actual question of Buddha, so I hope that understands Buddha was a way shower, much like Jesus was as well. There's been many masters, ascended masters who have had that kind of role on the planet. And then ascended masters. Like I was saying, there could be others as well, like Jesus. There's others, I'm sure, as well, that were really the way showers. They were examples of what was possible. And wow, blessings to them. I have a personal love for that, not religiously, but just really that these beings were so powerful and has such an important job here, and then you ask, in higher dimensional and vibrational aliens. If anything, yes, they come in to also show us what is possible and that there are other worlds, frankly, that there are other dimensions, other worlds that exist. So they are here to help also the planet, is what I'm hearing, the best way that they can, knowing all the while that it is our planet to do with what we will. So their role is really ones that are high vibrational and coming in to help. We'll say again, of aliens, sorry, I was getting a phone call buzzing in my hand there, is to really make sure that we understand what the planet is about from a different perspective. It's like they're here to shine a light. I'm getting shown a big flashlight to help us see things a little bit more clearly and in a different light. So I'll leave that with that. That's kind of what I'm getting for that part.
I love that. So thank you so much for that. I love the way shower. We really, as you were talking about that, and sometimes it's hard for me to know, is it me? Is it them? When they say things that I would never say, I know it's them. But,
Right.
I heard, boy, do we need a way shower.
Yes. Yeah.
Now they just said, oh, but there are many way showers. You are way showers.
Mm-hmm.
When we tap into the all and bring their messages, we are way showers.
Yep.
So even though we're tiny little on a little level, we are way showers. So
right.
And we are all in our own unique way.
Yes, most definitely. Through compassion, through acts of kindness, that's being a way shower of what is real and what is. I always love that, with Jesus, the idea that, in his meditations and sitting in meditation, that in itself, think about the message that was our Buddha. Others maybe perhaps that did that. I'm not super savvy about all of that. I was very interested at one time in Jesus, but not in a religious sort of way, but had a fascination. And I know there's a reason for that. And there was a connection, as there can be with any of us, for, people on the other side, we'll just say, in general, whether it's ascended masters, whether it's people you would never think you'd be able to connect with. I mean, certainly that's going into a whole different topic. But I was going to say, certainly when you become a medium and you're clairaudient and all that, it's amazing when you really put that out there with good intention, who you can connect with. But that's what I loved is just the simple acts that Jesus did in sitting in meditation to show us how to go within, and that quiet time was important, and that you could speak with source, with your higher beings. And of course, some religions feel like that only went through him, which I beg to differ that. It's getting into a religious sort of idea there, but I don't think that's true at all. And I think he was a way shower more than this son of God, which that may tug on somebody in a wrong way or trigger somebody. But what I mean by that is we are all children of God. And we do all have the ability to do these things. And that's what I mean by way showers that were here. Jesus, Buddha. It wasn't to say it has to go through me and me only. And if it ever sounded like that from the beginning, back in the days and all of that, it was more because people didn't understand a different way yet. They didn't quite get it. So if it meant that it had to be, kind of like follow me sort of thing, it was really to get you back home. Now we understand this more. So we can drop some of that a little bit and understand that we all have that ability and do have that ability to connect to source and to God and have conversations with God.
It's really quite fascinating because Jesus was way more of an ordinary guy with
an extraordinary role. I'm sorry, that just came in. I had to just say it. Just like you said, ordinary guy, and now I'm getting like with an extraordinary role.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but I want to get
that's
right away.
Exactly. That is so perfect. And so what they're saying to me is his intention was never to create what was spawned from his death. I mean, many were crucified, many. He was no different in that respect. And he never wanted to be considered different in that respect. He just had a unique compassion and a way to stand up for others. And that was deified later on. Ooh, I've never used that word before either.
I know. I love when that happens.
So somebody's probably not going to like this, but
it's okay. I think I started that.
they're saying to me, they're wanting, I want to put it gently, but they're putting it more bluntly in that Jesus is saying that he was disappointed in where a lot of this took a turn, that was never his intention. To what came of his teachings eventually was manipulated into becoming a means of control, and that was never ever his intention. It was just the opposite. It was about bringing people together, and he's disappointed in that these things that are happening in his name are so contra to what his real goal and intention was, and it's disappointing for him.
Yep.
Never ever thought I'd hear that come through my mouth, let me just tell you.
But yeah, no, I'm in agreement with that. Yeah.
Alrighty. Wow.
Anyway, and I think that was the end of the question.
Excellent topic of discussion though. And
yeah,
we like those. Great questions, Daphne. Thank you so much for bringing those to us. And if there's follow-ons, send them. I mean, maybe we said something here today that is you're like, wait, no, now there's something, now I need to ask this. So if there's a follow-on question, please send it to us.
Yeah. If you have any comments too about anything that was just said, we're, even if you beg to differ on what we said, we don't mind the comments. We can maybe, if they're done respectfully, we can reply to those as well and go a little deeper with that.
So remember that we're channeling. So this is not, there's something that goes on a TV stations that say, remember they used to have editorials, commercials or editorial moments, and the TV station would say, the viewpoint of that person is not necessarily the viewpoint of the station. And so
exactly.
That's what we're going to say too. The viewpoint is what you're hearing from our guides. You may have a different viewpoint. We may even have a different viewpoint as humans. But you ask the question and that's their answer. So
right. Yeah, that's exactly. We want to go there for you in that space to be able to just, give you what we are getting. So yeah.
And they're great questions because we want you to expand your mind. That's the goal of being human. Grow, evolve, open up, ask questions. That was the one thing that, not the one thing, that was a thing that Buddha, Buddha was just a Buddha. I mean, he was human before he became Buddha. And he had to let go of his earthly and human trappings, the things that make us crazy sometimes as humans. And that's no easy feat. And so ask those questions, because they lead you to evolve.
That's right. That's right. We learned something too, don't we, Julie?
all the time.
I was like, it's fun for us to get your questions. I mean, I don't want to keep going on your questions, but I'm just saying it's fun for us as well, because we can kind of, we learn something too, and it's kind of interesting to open up to things that maybe we hadn't thought about asking. So yeah, thanks.
So much so. And that's all I'm going to say. So much so. Yes, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to be on this end of it as well. So
yeah.
All right. Anything else that's going on in your world, Kat, otherwise?
Not too much. How about you? Do you want to add anything?
My catio is coming along.
Yay. Yay, yay.
That's exciting.
Can't wait to see pictures of it when it's done.
I know. Well, I have a few in process, but then I have to upload them and whatever. Actually, I'll have to figure that out another time. And I was telling Tammy a story about how my cats have been acting very strange the last day or so. So I hope there's nothing coming that we don't want, like an earthquake. I mean, they asked us, Rudy or somebody asked if there was an earthquake coming, and we said no, but there's been lots of little ones.
Yeah.
I think they can kind of pick up on those things,
I know, right. They do.
So
I think it is just all the stuff going on in your, in your house and what you're having done, kind of thing.
I mean, it is noisy, and not you can't hear it, but even though it's happening outside, they're banging on walls and they're hammering and they're sawing, and it's disruptive to the cats. It kind of freaks them out. And I already have one who has anxiety to begin with. So anyway, that's kind of all that's new in my world, and that's quite enough. So
yeah.
Alrighty.
Well,
so until next time, I really hope that this has opened up some more things for you all out there to ask. Please share this. Please ask your friends for questions. Bring us questions. We love them. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
exactly.
Certainly not to hear about my catio. While interesting to me, probably not enlightening to anybody else. So yeah,
I like hearing about it. So
thanks. Yeah, it's moving along. So yes, so send us your questions, make comments on YouTube, share, and we look forward to our next I wish I knew what was going on out here. I'm sorry for my distraction. And we'll see you next time. Yep. Until then, Julie Hawkins and Tammy Langowski, we are Two Psychic Moms, YouTube, and elsewhere.
Yeah, you can find us. You'll find us.
I had a rant about Facebook I'm not going to go into, so we may be divorced soon. That's what I'll say. That's it. So we'll see you next time.
Okay, we'll see y'all later. Have a good week. Thank you.